In this video, we'll discuss version control using Git. What is version control? Have you ever worked on a project and wish you could try different approaches to completing it without losing any of those different takes on it? Well, that's what version control is for. Git is just one of the many ways to do this. So how do we get started with Git? If you're using Windows, you can download Git from the link in the description. If you're using Mac, you can use Apple's version of Git or download it in the terminal program via Homebrew with brew install Git. If you don't have Homebrew installed, just use the info posted in the video description. For extra visual assistance, I recommend installing both of the following bash scripts found in the links in the video's description into the file named .bash_profile. This is not necessary, but it will give your shell prompt an appearance somewhat like what you see here and may make it a little bit easier to follow along. Once you have Git installed, the first thing to do is to initialize the repository via git init. If you have the git completion and git prompt scripts installed from the links in the description, you'll notice that some new text appears in the prompt. Most notable is the master text. This is the main branch where your best work should go. By best work, it's the work that usually has the least errors. Now, I did mention the concept of a branch. This is a concept that will be dealt with in an upcoming video. But for now, we'll just stick with the master branch and move on. If you don't have the scripts installed, you can use the git status command to see the state of your repository. Once you do this, you should see something like what's shown in the video telling you the branch that you're on and the commits that have been made. Currently, there's nothing to commit. So let's fix that by creating a new file from the terminal prompt. Type echo. This is the first statement of the file. Into file1.txt. If you check the status of the repository again with git status, you'll see that the new file you created is now untracked. Untracked files will not be added to any commits that are made. In order to remedy that, it must first be added to the staging area with git add. You can type git add file1.txt to add file1 text to the staging area, or git add dot in order to add all untracked files to the staging area. Once that's done, type git status in order to see the changes to your repository. Instead of seeing file1.txt as untracked, it's now ready to be added to a commit. Before making our first commit, let's discuss what a commit is. For now, we can think of it as a snapshot of your work. In our case, there's just the single file. So for our first commit, we'll take a snapshot of our working directory with its single file. So type in git commit -m making initial commit. The M option in the git command will allow you to make the commit while simultaneously writing the message for that commit without opening the default text editor. Now when you type in git status, you'll see there's nothing left to commit and that the working tree is clean. This working tree is the area where you can see the files that are untracked, modified, and added to the staging area for a new commit. Before ending this lesson, there's one last command to introduce. That is git log. When you type git log at the prompt, you can see the message for the first commit made, along with a long number called a SHA, or SHA. It's just an algorithmic hash to be used as a key to index your changes. It's not so important to know what the number is or how it works for now. The important part is the alias for that SHA, which is head. This will come into play in later videos dealing with undoing commits and squashing commits. But the key takeaway from this is that head is just an alias for the most recent commit. That's all the material for now in this introduction to version control using Git. If you found this video to be useful, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more lessons on Git and cooking up good software.